Dinar Shift is back with what many are calling a truly groundbreaking development that may signify one of the most substantial turning points yet in the complex narrative of the Iraqi dinar. For those who have diligently followed this financial saga over the years, you're well aware of the intense speculation and high anticipation surrounding potential currency reforms in Iraq. However, the situation today has shifted dramatically from mere conjecture. Concrete actions are now being observed in real time across the country. We have credible reports and visible evidence confirming that smaller denomination Iraqi dinar notes are actively entering circulation, a clear marker of a planned systemic transition. For an extended period, the world has been focused on the fate of the larger dinar notes, anxiously wondering what the Central Bank of Iraq's CBI strategy would be for its next phase of monetary reformation. The large denominations, specifically the 25,000, 10,000, and 5,000 dinar bills, have been central to this discussion, and now the visible signs of their gradual phase-out are unequivocal. This represents a tangible step forward, signifying that the nation is decisively moving into a new chapter of its currency's evolution. It is therefore crucial for anyone holding these higher denomination notes to fully comprehend the implications of the ongoing changes as they directly impact the currency's function and eventual use once this comprehensive process is completed. The initial key fact to grasp is that the Central Bank of Iraq is methodically engaged in removing specific, high-value notes from the nation's currency flow. This operation is not a sudden, knee-jerk reaction or a chaotic withdrawal. It is a meticulously orchestrated component of a pre-planned currency transition strategy. Citizens within Iraq are being asked to participate by presenting their older, larger notes for exchange at local banking institutions. While some might initially perceive this request to turn in money as a sign of diminishing value, the reality, according to official statements and market dynamics, points to the exact opposite conclusion. This is a carefully sequenced process designed to lay the essential groundwork for the widespread introduction of smaller denominations, which are now increasingly being cited in banks and modernizing ATM systems throughout Iraq. Reports from the ground detail the appearance of smaller 1, 5, 10, 20, 50, and even 100 dinar bills, along with new coins. Historically, a transition to smaller notes signals a strategic move to prepare a currency for greater usability in everyday commerce and transactions, aligning with a potential increase in its intrinsic purchasing power, not a depreciation of its worth. This moment stands as a pivotal juncture for every individual who possesses the Iraqi dinar, whether they are located domestically or internationally, because the reforms currently being implemented are laying the foundation for a currency structure that could ultimately lead to a significant strengthening of its value and usability over the foreseeable future. For those who possess the larger dinar denominations, such as the 25,000, 10,000, and 5,000 bills, there is no rationale for alarm or panic. These notes are emphatically not being canceled or rendered invalid. Instead, their circulation is being systematically reduced to pave the way for more functional and practical smaller units. The mechanism for this change allows Iraqi citizens to deposit their larger bills or exchange them for the newly issued lower denomination notes, which are inherently more convenient for the complexities of day-to-day life. This currency transition is considered a natural and necessary part of a broader currency reform strategy, ultimately aimed at substantially boosting the functional power and general purchasing capacity of the currency. While these larger notes are set to diminish gradually from domestic daily use, they are understood to retain their potential significance for those holding them outside of Iraq, because international currency exchange rates are expected to reflect a fundamentally stronger dinar once the process of redenomination or revaluation is formally executed. In essence, maintaining possession of these large denomination notes during the current preparatory phase is viewed by many as a position that could prove highly advantageous in the months ahead. The rationale driving Iraq's introduction of smaller notes is both strategically motivated and deeply practical. High-value notes, such as the 25,000 dinar bill, rapidly become unwieldy and impractical for common transactions if the currency were to achieve a substantially higher value. Consider the logistical challenges of using a single bill potentially valued at tens of thousands of dollars just to purchase basic groceries. Smaller denominations ensure that daily transactions remain manageable, which is precisely the operational change now observable. Banks across the nation are being actively equipped to seamlessly handle the influx of these new denominations. ATM networks are undergoing critical hardware and software updates, and local merchants are being trained and educated on how to adjust their pricing and handling protocols for transactions involving the smaller bills. Furthermore, the government is subtly embedding these changes into the economy by beginning to distribute some salary payments using the new notes. These combined incremental steps collectively signal that Iraq is preparing for a stronger, fully functional currency in practical terms, moving beyond mere theoretical financial policy. Crucially, for international holders of the dinar, the potential value embedded within their larger notes remains fundamentally intact throughout this ongoing phase of transition, reinforcing the importance of a patient and well-informed approach. While the on-the-ground operational shift unfolds within Iraq, its implications are already beginning to resonate globally. Major international financial institutions are reportedly updating their internal currency management systems to fully accommodate the new values and structure of the Iraqi dinar. This readiness effort includes large, influential US-based financial institutions that are beginning to see updated IQD currency codes and values appear within their proprietary internal databases. Such systemic updates are not accidental. They are a strong indication of a coordinated effort, suggesting a preparatory phase for smoother, more efficient international exchanges once a revaluation or new official rate is formally announced and implemented. Long-term holders, especially those who have patiently retained their dinar for years, are anticipated to be among the first to benefit once these deep-seated changes come into effect. For holders of the larger notes, this carefully orchestrated timing is critically important. Being fully informed and proactively prepared means being ready to capitalize on any shifts that will impact international exchange rates once the official revaluation takes place. Maintaining a sense of calm and patience during this protracted phase is therefore essential, as a sudden, unexpected move could otherwise easily catch many investors completely off guard. Historically, the introduction of smaller notes is a clear indication that a currency is being prepared for a more practical and functionally usable value structure. This understanding runs counter to a common misconception. Smaller bills are introduced precisely because the old, larger denominations become too cumbersome and impractical for daily use in a high-value scenario. The systematic introduction of 1, 5, 10, and 20 dinar notes clearly shows that Iraq is forward planning for a currency that remains highly usable in everyday life, even as the underlying potential value of the larger notes substantially increases. For any individual closely monitoring or holding the dinar, this is a profoundly encouraging and positive sign that the reforms are progressing in the correct direction, prioritizing practical usability alongside the crucial restoration of financial value. It is equally clear that the local Iraqi public is being proactively educated and guided through every step of this complicated process. Government offices, commercial banks, and local merchants are all receiving detailed, uniform instructions on how to handle the new denominations. Salaries and various transactions are being systematically adjusted to align with the smaller notes, thereby guaranteeing that the public can manage their daily purchases without undue difficulty or stress. Throughout this domestic adjustment, international holders of the larger notes remain unaffected by these specific local operational changes. Understanding this crucial distinction helps international investors and collectors maintain confidence that their holdings retain their potential value and stand to benefit significantly when a revaluation is formally executed. Knowledge and heightened awareness during this delicate phase are the most essential assets for anyone with a stake in the Iraqi dinar. This current preparatory phase is strongly supported by real, tangible preparation, occurring behind the scenes on a global scale. International banks are continually updating their proprietary internal systems to fully accommodate the new Iraqi dinar denominations. These global preparations include the recalibration of extensive databases and financial software to accurately recognize the updated IQD values, a mandatory technical step for ensuring smooth international exchanges once the currency revaluation officially goes live. The high level of coordination being observed between the local operational changes happening within Iraq and the preparations being made by major global financial institutions serves as a powerful indicator that these reforms are being carefully implemented with a clear focus on seamless international compatibility. This increases the likelihood that the eventual transition will be smooth, orderly, and well managed when it is fully executed. The methodical phasing out of the larger notes, combined with the strategic introduction of the smaller bills, emphatically underscores that Iraq is actively and determinedly moving toward a stronger, more functional, and more modern currency system. Every single action being taken, ranging from the comprehensive training of local merchants to the critical updating of international banking systems, points toward a deliberate and cohesive plan. The international community is observing this transition with intense interest, and the tangible preparations observed in foreign banks strongly suggest they are positioned for the new value. This precise alignment of local action and international readiness signals a path toward a seamless transition, a development that could profoundly benefit currency holders, provided they maintain both patience and careful planning. For those who have faithfully held on to their larger notes for years, this period offers a profound validation of their patience and belief. Despite the inevitable cycle of rumors, frustrating delays, and outright false claims, the signs of tangible, credible change are finally and unequivocally appearing. Smaller notes are being distributed and circulated, larger notes are being collected, and the essential banking systems are being updated on a global scale. This constitutes one of the clearest and most credible indicators that the Iraqi dinar is decisively entering a phase where the currency may finally be positioned to realize the substantial potential value that many have anticipated for a long time. The significance of this precise moment cannot be overstated. For countless individuals, years of patient waiting and careful holding are beginning to yield tangible results. Those who possess the 25,000, 10,000, and 5,000 dinar notes still maintain the potential for significant value appreciation once the official revaluation occurs. Simultaneously, the Iraqi population is successfully adjusting to the practical, smaller notes that allow the mechanics of everyday life to operate smoothly. Observing these changes unfold in real time provides unique insight into a well-organized, large-scale transition that expertly balances local practicality with global financial opportunity for international holders. Staying thoroughly informed remains the single most essential action during this critical period. Reliable, verified updates directly from Iraq and confirmed information from credible financial institutions are the best and only tools to effectively navigate this transition. While misinformation and scams continue to circulate, those who commit to staying educated and adhering to verifiable updates can confidently maintain their holdings without fear or uncertainty. This is the designated time to ensure your holdings are organized, notes are properly stored, and a calm patience is maintained while closely observing how these complex changes unfold on both a domestic and international stage. As this intricate process continues, every measurable step taken inside Iraq, from the mass distribution of the smaller notes to the systematic removal of the larger bills, serves as a powerful signal that the comprehensive currency reform is actively and successfully advancing. This is not merely a local event. It is a coordinated, large-scale effort that has global readiness and international integration firmly in mind. Observing the operational readiness of ATMs, local banks, government offices, and the updates occurring within international banking systems provides a clear, unmistakable picture that a stronger, more functionally viable Iraqi dinar is rapidly approaching the horizon. For those with a position in the larger notes, these observable developments strongly reinforce the potential for meaningful financial gains once the currency is officially revalued. The core conclusion from all available evidence is strikingly clear. Iraq is decisively entering a new and highly significant era of currency management. Smaller notes are now a visible part of the economy. Larger notes are being systematically phased out, and the global financial systems are aligning to seamlessly handle a stronger, more usable currency. International holders continue to retain the full potential of their holdings, and every single action being observed provides strong confirmation that the country is preparing for a monumental financial leap forward. The key directive for anyone observing this dynamic situation is to remain calm, organized, and thoroughly informed. This is a historic financial moment, and for those who have patiently held their position, the potential reward for their long-term foresight could be truly life-changing. In summation, the distinct and visible appearance of the new, smaller dinar notes, the methodical collection of the larger denominations, and the active, system-wide preparations occurring both inside and outside of Iraq are definitive indicators that the country is progressing toward a more valuable and functionally practical national currency. While local citizens adjust to the usability of the new notes, international holders can and should maintain confidence in the retained value potential of their larger bills. This transition period marks an unmistakable turning point, clearly signaling that Iraq is prepared for a modern, structurally sound currency system with credible, real backing. Staying patient, diligently observing developments, and carefully preparing for the next phases are the steps that ensure all involved parties can fully benefit from these historic, unfolding financial changes. The bottom line remains simple and direct. Iraq is in the process of making history. The larger notes are being phased out as intended, smaller notes are successfully entering circulation, and the comprehensive foundation for a stronger currency is being meticulously laid. International holders remain in a position to potentially realize life-changing value appreciation, all while Iraqis transition to a modern, practical currency system for daily use. Every credible sign, from the calibration of ATMs to the updates in global financial systems, confirms that a new and significant era for the Iraqi dinar is unfolding right now. This level of global preparation and internal coordination strongly suggests that the entire process is being handled with exceptional care and planning, designed to ensure both immediate stability and seamless accessibility when the currency is ultimately reintroduced with a stronger, more robust backing. Put simply, this is a system-wide readiness exercise that provides powerful signals of major, imminent changes on the financial horizon. The indicators visible within Iraq itself are equally compelling and unambiguous. As the higher denomination notes are systematically removed from active circulation, the public is visibly encountering new currency bills within their banking and ATM interactions. Government offices are actively transitioning their day-to-day operations to utilize the smaller notes for practical transactions. Significantly, there is a noted increase in oil sales and major international contracts being denominated in dinars rather than the long-dominant US dollar. These are paramount developments because they clearly demonstrate that Iraq is methodically and successfully reducing its systemic reliance on foreign currency while simultaneously strengthening its own domestic monetary structure. The powerful combination of domestic reforms, practical implementation strategies, and comprehensive international preparation indicates that Iraq is positioning itself for a more valuable, modern, and resilient currency framework. This new structure is designed to be both fully functional for local daily life and credibly recognized on the global financial stage. It is vital to consistently remember that these profound changes are unfolding gradually and as part of an exhaustively planned strategy. For example, the phasing out of the large notes is not an immediate, overnight event. Citizens are provided with ample, carefully defined windows of time to exchange their notes at local banks, a measure explicitly taken to ensure zero major disruption to daily economic life. Concurrently, the smaller notes are being introduced into circulation at a controlled pace. This measured approach permits the central bank to effectively educate the population on the correct handling and usage of the new denominations, a crucial step for adoption. This gradual implementation also effectively prevents any undue public panic or confusion, while crucially reinforcing the intrinsic potential of the older, higher denomination notes for international holders. For anyone with a financial interest in the Iraqi dinar, understanding this precise timing and pacing is absolutely crucial, as it directly sets the foundation for the potential economic benefits that may be realized once the currency reform is fully achieved. This current moment serves as a powerful validation for the long-term patience of those who have held the dinar for extended periods. Countless individuals have navigated years of unsubstantiated rumors, misleading information, and frustrating delays. The tangible actions now unfolding on the ground, however, are aligning directly with the careful forecasts and well-researched insights that trusted financial observers have been consistently reporting for many months. The parallel appearance of new, smaller notes alongside the systematic collection of the larger denominations provides a clear and undeniable signal that Iraq is progressing toward a finalized and solidified monetary framework. While an official formal date for an international revaluation has not yet been declared, the extensive preparatory groundwork is manifestly complete. Every observable signal indicates that this is one of the most significant and critical periods for holders of the currency. The most important action for all involved during this sensitive transition is to maintain composure, remain highly organized, and stay thoroughly informed. It must be reiterated that for international holders of the 25,000, 10,000, or 5,000 dinar notes, the potential value of these bills remains fully retained. The international banking community is not actively participating in the domestic phase-out process. Therefore, the larger notes held by global investors continue to possess the inherent potential for substantial value appreciation once a revaluation event officially occurs. This local phase-out is specifically designed to make day-to-day transactions manageable inside Iraq and is explicitly not intended to devalue international holdings. This is a fundamental distinction that all dinar followers must appreciate, as it highlights that context and timing are everything when assessing the potential financial outcomes of these changes. The Central Bank of Iraq has provided official confirmation of its unwavering commitment to establishing a modern, robust currency framework. A core part of this commitment involves a concerted effort to significantly reduce the economy's reliance on the US dollar for local trade, issue the new lower denomination notes, and actively work to support domestic price stability. These steps are considered paramount for successfully creating a financially stable currency that is capable of achieving tangible value growth in both the domestic and international markets. Crucially, the new notes are understood to be backed by concrete, tangible assets, including Iraq's vast oil revenues and its foreign currency reserves, which fundamentally strengthens the currency's overall foundation. When a national currency possesses this kind of real, verifiable backing, genuine value changes become a distinct possibility, making this specific phase of reform particularly meaningful for all parties monitoring or holding the Iraqi dinar. As the smaller notes begin to proliferate, local businesses and banking personnel are being comprehensively trained and updated to effectively manage this monumental change. ATM machines are undergoing recalibration to correctly dispense the lower denominations, and established pricing strategies are being carefully adjusted across all public offices and retail stores. This meticulous and gradual rollout is deliberately engineered to ensure a completely smooth transition, successfully preventing widespread confusion and maintaining the currency's essential usability. It also serves as a strong, nonverbal signal to the international community that Iraq is profoundly serious about its commitment to currency modernization and financial reform. Closely observing these on-the-ground operational changes is one of the most reliable ways to track the tangible progress of the transition, providing both domestic citizens and international holders with deep insight into the readiness of the Iraqi financial system for a stronger currency. While a definitive, official date for a revaluation has not yet been publicly released, there are increasingly strong hints that the final stages of the process could unfold within the next few months. Trusted observers on the ground consistently report that the majority of the technical and logistical groundwork appears to be fully completed. The central bank has successfully synchronized the printing process, the national distribution network, the digital systems, and its public education programs to ensure they are all in perfect alignment to support the upcoming transition. Once these core elements are fully integrated and tested, Iraq will be in a position to smoothly introduce a substantially stronger currency without causing economic disruptions.